Hey folks, my name is Zach Murray. I'm with the Murray Homestead, and today we're going to be showing you how to can some strawberry jelly. Hey folks, I'm Zach Murray.
I'm Hepsi, and this is Ellie.
Welcome to the Murray Homestead. All right, so with all of my anything canning that I do, I have to have the disclaimer that you need to be as safe as possible, and the safest way possible is to use an approved recipe by like the Ball or the Food Safety Administration to a T and do exactly what they say. That's my disclaimer. For the most part, I do what they say, but I do make little tweaks to our preference, and we're still kicking. So I am using today the classic strawberry jam recipe from the Ball website, and I'll show y'all what we are going to be using today. So I got some strawberries. I cut the stems off of all these and washed them very well. I actually let them soak in a baking soda solution for about 5 minutes. You just take about a tablespoon of baking soda, fill up your bowl with water, dump the strawberries in, and just let it sit for about 5 minutes. I wouldn't really do any longer, but that's going to absorb a lot of the pesticides and all that nasty stuff we don't want on there. And then give them a really good rinse in a colander. The next ingredient is going to be some lemon juice. The Ball recipe, I have to specify, it calls for bottled lemon juice. I bought one lemon and I got a quarter cup of lemon juice out of it by just squeezing it. I really don't see any point to get bottled lemon juice. The recipe calls for 7 cups of sugar. But also calls for 5 pounds of strawberries. I only have 3 pounds of strawberries. I weighed them out on my kitchen scale. And so I did the simple cross multiply and divide thing. And I got 4.2 cups that I'll need for this recipe. So I did 4.25 cups. And then we need pectin. If you're apprehensive to use pectin, my only comment would be that it adds an additional cost to your recipe. This literally comes from fruit and simple carbohydrates. If you don't want to use the pectin, at the end of the day, you're just going to have to simmer down your fruit longer. The pectin basically thickens the jam jelly. And this just kind of makes the whole process faster and easier. If you don't want to use it, do exactly what I do, but you're going to have to simmer down the fruit sugar combination a little bit longer just to make it thicker. So we have all of our ingredients laid out to make y'all's life a little bit easier and try to expedite this process. I've already cut and washed my fruit, measured out my sugar, measured out my lime juice. Y'all are going to have to suffer through me measuring out 4 tablespoons of that. It's not too big of a deal. For this recipe, and I think all jellies, you need to preheat your jars in your canner. So I have my jars that have already been sanitized in the sink, and then I submerged them completely in my canner. And you want to bring the water just to under a boil because you want them jars really hot. Because what we're going to do is heat all this fruit up in this pan, and then we're going to pour that very hot mixture into these jars. So you want the temperature as equalized as possible so we're not busting glass. And I have my canning lids set in this little saucepan submerged in water. I brought it to just under a boil and turned it off, and those will probably be good for a couple hours. And the whole point of that is to just soften up that rubber seal, so we'll for sure get a good canning seal. I'm using my wife's super cute little potato masher she got, but it works really well for crushing up these strawberries. So we'll go and get started. You're going to take all your strawberries and put them in that pan. The pan was already pretty warm. And you want to do this on about low heat. You really don't want this all burning and making a big mess of in your pan or in your kitchen. So you just want to chop these bad boys up until you get a nice paste. A little chop. Alrighty, so I've got these pretty well all mashed up. Like I said before, and Ellie's telling you now, I use my wife's scraper or masher to do the initial mashing of all the strawberries, and then I switched over to this 99-cent Dollar General special potato masher, and it's got those little holes, and it's really good to get the last little mashing all complete. So now we'll go ahead and add a boatload of sugar. If it looks like a lot, it is a lot. It's actually part of the preservation process. You can Google it. It's a whole thing. It's a big word, starts with an M. I think, I can't remember what the word is, but basically the sugar is actually helping draw out moisture from the fruit. And it tastes great. And you're probably going to use a tablespoon per meal, so whatever. We'll go and pour all that sugar in. And just as a reminder, if I didn't say it already, I've got this on low heat. So you want to get it good and warm, but you do not want this boiling right now. It will make a huge mess. And I'll use my handy dandy silicone tip spatula here. And I'll mix this as well as I can. And then we get to add some pectin next. I'll try to mix that in, get in the sugar chunks all chopped up. And just to be safe, make sure we don't have any like weird balls of sugar in there. I'm gonna go and use this for just a little bit longer. Yep, I just felt one in there squish. I'll use this for just a couple minutes and just keep on squishing and stirring. Get this as mixed up as well as I can. All right, we'll go and add our last two ingredients now that we have this all pretty well stirred up. So we'll add a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. For my Hispanic folks out there, the lemon is the yellow one. That's an inside joke. If you know, you know. I'll go ahead and add 4 tablespoons of this fruit pectin. I actually stole the 1 tablespoon for some epoxy in my shop. So we'll be doing 8 half tablespoons. You're welcome, wife. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alrighty, and just so y'all know, when you buy the off-the-shelf Sure Gel, I think y'all are gonna know what this looks like. It is the original Sure Gel. It comes in a 1.25 ounce pack, and I use probably, I would say about 80% of it for this recipe. So just for some reference there. And then we're gonna stir this up as well as we can. A little stir, and I'll see y'all here in a minute. Alrighty, I let this come to a full boil, and I mixed constantly while this is coming to a boil. We're mixing sugar and sugary fruit. You will wreck your pan if you're not stirring this constantly. Now that it's come to a pretty steady boil, I'm gonna keep on mixing until it cools down. All right, I've seen on certain recipes, because I looked through many of these. I've been doing like this for a while, and I haven't had any issues. But there's several recipes that mention skimming. If y'all know why they recommend skimming, I mean, I thoroughly cleaned the strawberries prior, and I've added nothing but pectin, lime juice, and sugar. So I don't really feel the need, and I have not skimmed the foam. If y'all know why they recommend to skim the foam, or if you have a good reason for me, please leave it in the comments because I genuinely do not know. All right, we're back. This is more or less done boiling. I turn off the heat, and I'll just give it another quick stir before I leave it alone, so I don't ruin my beautiful wife's pan. I did not mention before, the whole point, or one of the main points of boiling the fruit the way we're doing it, is to evaporate water. A fruit has a ton of water in it. And so if you just put it in a blender, you end up with a smoothie. You're not going to get jam. So you want a wide pan. That way you get a lot of surface area for all that moisture to evaporate. Quick note. My jars here are very, very warm. So I'm going to go and take them out and set them on a towel. If you see my other YouTube videos about canning, put them on a towel. The reason you want to put them on a towel is if you put them on like a plastic Formica style, yeah, Ellie, style countertop, you will straight up just melt your countertop. One. Two, if you have nice stone or granite or tile style countertops, and you put these on that cold stone, they will very likely crack. And we do not like that. So, put a towel down, make your life easier. And I'll set out 8. I have 10 in here just in case. I think we're going to actually end up with about 6. But the more the merrier. So I'll go and put my funnel in the jar. The recipes call for a 1/4 inch of headspace. So that is only that much, in case you're not aware. So we're basically filling these suckers all the way to the top. I'll go ahead and use a ladle. Yeah. I will use a ladle, and I will try to be as careful as possible because this is going to be sticky, sticky, sticky if I spill. All right, so we have all of our lids on. We're going to just make sure they're all centered about as well as we can. And we'll go ahead and start throwing some rings on. Again, these jars are wicked hot, so unless you're used to touching hot things, you might want to use an oven mitt or something like that. All right, and just to be safe, I'll go and grab an oven mitt, and just like with the other canning things, we want them just spin tight, and then about 1/8 of a turn. 1/8. Now we'll take our jar lifter. Our pot is already boiling, which is nice. So we'll put these in there gently, one at a time. You want to leave just a little bit of space between them. Really, you just don't want them touching, and you don't want them clacking against each other while they're boiling. And there's all of them in there. And then according to the recipe, we'll let these boil for 10 minutes. So we'll put the lid on, let these boil, and we'll see you all here in a minute. So our 10-minute timer just went off. I'm gonna turn the stove off. I'm gonna lift the lid. Again, lift it away from you so you don't get hit in the face with steam. Set this off to the side. We're going to take these delicious jars out. We'll set them on our towel to cool for 12 to 24 hours. Before too long, you'll start hearing some beautiful popping sounds, which means the lids are sealing, and that's what you want to hear. Otherwise, this was Zach Murray with the Murray Homestead. If you have any comments, questions, anything, please put them in the comment section. I'm doing these videos so that y'all can learn. If there's something you can teach me, something I did wrong, by all means, please put it in the comments, because this is a community and we are all teaching each other things. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see y'all next time. Thank you.